Hello my friends and welcome to episode 29 of our Football Manager 2021 Let's Play with Rangers. Recording this on New Year's Day, so I'm recording this and the next episode on New Year's Day and then probably play a little bit of the transfer window before I sort of start into my sort of routine for the night, if you like. But I just wanted to bring you back in on this screen unusually because I wanted to show the A+ board performance review. The league has won. Of course, as we knew in the last episode, it was already sealed up. Livingston versus Ayr in the relegation playoff. St Johnstone have gone down, but once again we finish unbeaten, 2 draws to finish the season. But again, we'll go through all this very much properly next season. 26 clean sheets from 38 games for Livakovic, which is absolutely unbelievable. Mayor with 43 goal contributions. Again, I'll go through all that in the next episode, the end of season review, but I just wanted to show you a couple of those things before I forgot. So last episode was the Scottish Cup semi-final. Today is of course the Scottish Cup final, refereed by Peter Stewart, who I've never heard of, and he did ref a game up here, so he is a tier 1 referee, but I've genuinely never heard of him. Peter Stewart. He's only refereed us once all season. It was a 4-1 against Hearts. From what I can see, I'm not seeing any other Peter Stewarts. Nope, there he is there. I will tell you. Hibs Dundee, Falkirk Morton, Queen's Park Cove, Celtic Ayr, a couple of under 18 internationals, Annan Forfar, Boracowd and Beef, East Stirling Reserves versus East Edinburgh City Reserves, and Edinburgh City versus East Fife, and he's thrown into a Scottish Cup final. That's absolutely crazy. Now that's since February, last 10 matches. It's a crazy string of 10 matches to get a cup final, isn't it? Excuse me. So we won that game. Go back and check it out. It was well worth watching. And then we played Aberdeen. They got 2 goals, and they actually had 2 penalties. The first goal came from a penalty that was saved and then recycled. Neither of them were penalties, I'll be honest. We got a penalty that was probably a bit dubious. It was an off the ball incident. I only got to see it once, so whether it was or wasn't, I don't know. But basically, I think it was Pavlovic went down for us. Both the fouls actually committed for their penalties committed by Bradaric, who had a very, very strong game, and as I said, I don't think either of them were legitimately penalties. But Mayor Lovromaya rather scored 4 goals, 2 headers, 1 from the spot and 1 absolute beauty. It was actually a perfect, over the 4 goals there was a perfect hat-trick in there. Mohamed Drami came off the bench and got himself a brace as well, so as we won 6-2. We then played Ross County and we won 3-0. Adam Halsick and a brace from Antonio Marin, who returned to the team. We then played Celtic, and Filip Benkovic scored at both ends, or rather the same end in both halves. He got a header for us, and this one, I think, how this goes down as a Benkovic own goal, I'm going to show you because it's, never a Benkovic own goal. I mean, by the Lord's the game, he was the last one to touch the ball, so maybe it is, but I'll show you. It's absolutely crazy. He knows absolutely nothing about it. Comes off Pavlovic, bounced off Benkovic, and Livakovic still stuck in the animation from the initial shot. I'll show you it again just to let you see it again. But as you see, it'll come off Pavlovic, bounce off Benkovic, and Livakovic is caught in the animation for the previous save, and then reacts as the ball is going over the line. It looks a bit suspect when you watch it in real time. Watching it back for the 3rd and 4th time now, I can see exactly what's happened. It is just, he's caught in the animation. It's one of those things with video games, unfortunately. The developers will always record animations, which means that, he could have easily fallen in that direction in real life after, having the initial, I'm acting like I'm on camera, I'm not on camera, the initial sort of PAM attempt, which wasn't then required. You'd be able to then sort of jump in that direction, but because it's recorded in animations, it's not possible. We then played Motherwell. Today's opponents, we won 4-0. Nico, Mayer, Orsic on the score sheet before Josh Doig with a header of all things, getting his first goal of the season. And he has put himself into contention for selection today as we then went and played Hibs. Pavlovic, yes, Pavlovic with a hat-trick. The third was a penalty, the first was from a corner, and the second was from a set piece. But still, centre-back scoring a hat-trick. Josh Doig scored an absolute thunderbolt against his former team. And Benkovic also on the score sheet for a 5-1 victory, with all 5 goals coming from defenders. So that leaves us with today's game, the Scottish Cup semi-final, the Scottish Cup final rather, which we're going to jump into right now before I continue my waffling. So only 2 changes to the team that beat Hibs. Ross McCrory was suspended for that game, and I've rested Ryan Kent for a couple of games. Let Orisic kind of put himself in the transfer market, if you like. You know, he's not transfer listed, and I don't plan on transfer listing him, but I do, now he's 30, I do plan on selling him this year, try to cash in on the sale value that he has, which will now kind of be peaked, I think. So tried to give him a couple of games. Ross McCrory obviously comes back in, as I said, and Kent in for Orisic. That means that I have started Josh Doig. Now, I looked at this for a long time. I've literally been about 5 minutes since stopping recording, coming here and selecting my team. And most of that has been looking at Doig, looking at Patterson, looking at the recent form, and actually Josh Doig is the in-form right back. I did even debate putting in Tavernier because I suspect this would be his last game. Let him lift a trophy in his last game, but I felt he wasn't quite match fit enough. So Doig won the battle. So the team is Livakovic, Doig, Benkovic, Pavlovic, Bradaric, Nico, Ross McCrory taking the armband, Antonio Marin, Lovro Meyer, I don't know. It's probably his last game as well. He's only got a year left on his contract, and he wants a big deal to renew and a drastically reduced minimum sell-on fee. So I don't think he's going to get a new deal. Ryan Kent and Mohamed Daramy. So probably his last game as well, but I'll go through all that at the next episode, of course. But that's the team. We've got Thackeray on the bench. He is our sort of 4th choice goalkeeper, if you like, but obviously the American lad is out on loan. Jay Hogarth got injured, and Robbie McCrory was obviously sold in January, so he's literally the only other goalkeeper in all of our squads combined. James Tavernier, Lewis Nielsen, Glenn Kamara, Lewis Ferguson, Kai Kennedy and Adam Holzik making the bench. I went with Daramy over Holzik again. It's just a form thing. Holzik's form since he came back from injury has not been particularly good. So that has been a big concern. It looks like Marin's picked up an early knock there. Hopefully he'll be okay. It looks like a twisted knee. Hopefully he'll be okay to continue. Benkovic hits the post early on. Pavlovic scored a hat-trick in the last game. Looking decent. I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to ignore you. Brian Klug is my new assistant manager, by the way. He was head of youth development at Portsmouth, but he had all the stats that I look for in an assistant manager. I approached him, seeing if he would be interested in the assistant manager job, and he was. So Brian Klug is now my assistant. I believe a lot of Rangers saves have him as head of youth. Doig with a good tackle there. I thought he was given a penalty for a second there, and I was about to say it was never a penalty, and be angry about it. Nico, Antonio Marin, he's been really good since he came back in the team. Probably enough that I'm willing to sell Coleman. And Mayer, is that disallowed? I went on like a VAR or something. There's no VAR in Scotland. I've not played in a league with VAR in a while, because even my stream I don't think has VAR, because I'm still in the 3rd tier of the Bundesliga. But a good ball in from Marin here, and Mayer with a good header. 24 goals of this season, countless other assists. You know, as we said, 20 assists, 20 plus assists in the league alone, 20 goals in the league. It's going to be difficult to replace, very difficult to replace. And I'm glad that we've got young Coombs, we've got Kennedy. You know, it's not going to cost us huge amounts of money, but I think it's going to be a gap. Christian Doig is in here. Pavlovic probably just done about enough to distract, and Livakovic, obviously a top goalkeeper, getting down. Is interest in Livakovic, but he's contracted for another 3 years after this season. I'm willing to play hardball to keep him. You know, he is probably coming into his prime, but I'm very willing. What have they got a free kick down there for? No idea. Absolutely no idea. But I'm willing to play hardball with him. Again, I'll try and cover all that next episode and focus on this game, but I'm so excited to get into this transfer window because I'm so nervous, and it makes me excited. because, it's one of those ones where we either keep all the team and we're happy, or we lose half the team and we're reasonably happy because we've got guys that are ready almost just to step in now. Or there are only one or two positions that I think we would need to go out and buy for specifically. Left back being one of them. We definitely need a left back, so I'm excited for this transfer window. And I know that's coming across today, and I'm trying not to because next episode will be very boring if I do. But overall, fairly mediocre first half. Actually, Motherwell were probably edged it as better team. Demand more. Pavlovic, was that one booking away from a yellow warning there that he's wanted me to sub him off for? Benkovic! a lot of interest in Fleet Benkovic as well. So again, interesting, but another big header. 11 goals for Benkovic this season, and Benkovic has been worth 11 goals this season. Pavlovic worth 10. I know that because of the last game, of course. I'm scoring a hat trick. I've got very up to date numbers on Pavlovic, so it's £1 million a goal each almost for those two guys, and we'll make profit for both of them. So very, very good signings. I'm very happy that we made those signings. When you're adding goals like that from set pieces, that did not look like a penalty to me. It's saying it was a harsh challenge, so maybe it was 2-footed or something. I don't know. I've not maybe seen it correctly there. I kind of want to bring off Ross McCrory because he's on a yellow, but at the same time I don't want to bring him off because I want him to lift the trophy. Is Lovromayer back of the net, his second of the game, and I think we'll introduce Kai Kennedy for Antonio Marin. This is where, during all this form that we've had from Mayor recently, this is where Kai Kennedy's been kind of forced to play, but it's been allowing a bit of cover there because I've not been convinced with how Coleman's been playing, and Marin's been playing very well, so Kai Kennedy's been coming on and giving him bits of respite while obviously continuing his development. Bambula gets past Doig, Benkovic coming across, but it's actually a really good pass, just gets behind Nico, I think it was. Pavlovic with the tackle, only knocks it to Doig's path, unfortunately. O'Donnell, this is a dangerous attack from Motherwell. Clark, Ross McCrory standing tall, Ryan Kent, Alan Campbell. Very, very good player, Alan Campbell. Do rate him. Not enough to sign him, but I do rate him. He's a very, very good player in this game. And in real life, I think, as well. He's one of those guys that, maybe one of those guys you could say he's at his level, but that's not what I meant to do. What I meant to do was that, and then that. With Motherwell is what I was trying to say, and completely butchered it. We will bring on James Tavernier for probably his farewell game. Josh Doig is absolutely knackered as well, so Tavernier comes off the bench. The captain, he's been so consistent for us, and Ross McCrory now goes to lift up the Scottish Cup and seal the League and Cup double for this season. Of course, we'd failed in the Betfred Cup. Last year was the opposite way around. We lost the Scottish Cup and won in the Betfred Cup. So we've had 3 different combinations of tournament trophies won over all 3 seasons. Ross McCrory lifts up his first major bit of silverware of his career. Ecstatic for him. Really glad we got him back. Congratulations, lads. It's another very, very good round off to the season. So I will skip ahead. We'll have the end of season review next episode, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit like. If you didn't, hit dislike, but let me know in the comments down below what you disliked. That would be appreciated. And I'll hopefully catch you all next time.